All right, Mitch and Justine, it is so awesome to have you guys here. How you doing?
We're doing great. Great. How are you?
I'm thrilled. And you guys are, just learned you guys are joining us from Mexico, which
Yeah,
is
from Mexico.
so cool.
We live in Guadalajara full time. So yeah, all the way down
Yeah,
south.
we're down south.
And then before that, yeah, what we'll talk about today is we'll talk about I'd love to hear how you guys met. You met in Canada.
Yeah.
How we met, how we ventured over to Mexico. I think your background of where you guys came from is being nurses, and now you're going to wellness. Love to kind of explore all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depends how much time you have.
Yeah.
Might be here for a while, right?
Well, I think we got time, so I think this is gonna be really entertaining.
Yeah.
Where do you guys think is the best place to start? Is it what you guys are doing before fitness, before you guys even met?
Honestly,
Yeah, I
I
think
feel
that's
like we can go like all the way back because I feel like for both of us, we have been athletes and into sports literally since we could walk.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's always been a part of our life. So
Yeah, I was put on skates when I was like 1 year old with my
Yeah.
mom. So
yeah.
I grew up playing hockey.
Yeah, and I grew up playing. I did everything. I did soccer, gymnastics, volleyball, basketball. We did it all. My parents were both college athletes themselves, so they were like, just go into everything, you guys, and figure out what you like. But yeah, he got really serious into hockey.
Yeah, I played in the Western Hockey League. There's a few teams in America, but that's Western Hockey League, American Hockey League, NHL. So it's a couple steps right below there.
Yeah.
And in my last year playing hockey, I got injured, and that's sort of where kind of we started meeting. Justine played soccer in university.
So I ended up kind of choosing soccer as my sport of choice, and then I ended up going to university on a scholarship for soccer. But yeah, we kind of met like towards the end of Mitch's hockey career as he was kind of transitioning out and sort of like figuring out who he was without hockey, because for a long time that was his entire identity.
It's a totally different story too, that again is going to take time, but there's like a huge identity crisis for myself. And I know that happens so much with athletes where I was a hockey player. I wasn't Mitch the person. So after that, I had no idea who I was, what I wanted to do with my life, bouts of depression, did the whole athlete thing. And I know that's becoming bigger now with social media, that athletes do go through that, as we didn't see that back in the day. So we got to the point where once I kind of came out of that, without getting into more details because that'd take forever, but we kind of met at a restaurant out. I was with a group of my teammates, and she was out with some of her friends and made a corny joke at the register. And then I remember we actually got in touch over Twitter back in the day. So we tweeted at each other, and the rest was history. Funny enough.
And that was 14 years ago.
That was 14 years ago. So
together for 14 years since then.
Yeah. And then I guess from there, Justine started nursing. She was 2 years ahead of me in school. We're from a small town in Canada called Kelowna. It's near Vancouver. So one of the most beautiful places in BC, Canada. But she started nursing, and we kind of realized we both had a love and passion for helping people. And I think that's where we definitely connected with. And seeing her go through the stages of nursing, my slight identity crisis of what can I do now that I'm not a hockey player, I don't know how to help, I don't know what I want to be. Nursing seemed like a really great outlet for myself, especially when I learned about all the types of nursing. So we started nursing together, but separately.
Yeah, I was 2 years ahead of him, and he ended up coming into nursing behind me. And we met some of our best friends that way, and it was awesome. It was a really good time. And then I ended up moving away to Victoria, which is near to Vancouver. It's another ferry ride away. And we ended up doing long distance for about 2 years.
Yeah.
And then he finally came once he was done nursing to work with me in the hospitals there. And it was cool. It was really cool to be nurses together because we're both science nerds. We love health and science, and we just love information. We love learning. And it was so cool to be able to talk about things and tell each other about our days, and that part of it was really cool.
Yeah,
but
and Justine, she was in labor and delivery, so very intense part of nursing as well. And I worked in the emergency department, which for me was sort of the ability to get adrenaline back into my lifestyle from hockey. So I really enjoyed that fast-paced environment as well.
But the other side of things was that we both worked shift work. And so our schedules were like always opposite. We literally never saw each other. Mitch was working, like we were both working a lot of overtime, but Mitch was working like over like 100+ hour weeks. And it was just like, I think we got to the point where a few years in, we were like, I just don't know if this is it. Like if we're like what we're doing every day is what is really fulfilling us. And like we love what we do. We love the science aspect of it. We love connecting with people, but it's just not quite what we envisioned for ourselves.
No, we got in to help people. And of course, on a day-to-day basis, we definitely helped people, but it wasn't the way that we saw our lives progressing. As Justine said, we would see someone come in. I would work other shifts in the cardiology unit. So we would see people come in from a lot of food-related illnesses. They've eaten too much food, got diabetes, whatever their background history is. Of course, we can get into that. But the point is, a lot of the people we saw had preventable illnesses, and it was so challenging to help them get through their acute injury and then see them 2 weeks later with the same type of thing go on. And we're kind of like, I don't know if this is the exact help that I wanted to have within the world. So
yeah. So then we kind of like, this is like, sorry, we're like, I feel like we're all over the place.
This is great. Keep going.
This is our life. Yeah, this is just our life. We could, like I said, buckle up because we have a lot of time on our hands.
In about like 2019, like around there, we were like, we need to like switch it up. Like we need to just like, I don't know what we need to do, but we need to switch it up. And so we started saving really hard. Like we were working a lot and we saved a lot of money. And in like kind of just before the pandemic, we had already decided, but it kind of happened that it was around the same time that it happened. And we were like, we are leaving. Like we're leaving Canada. We're just going to go somewhere and like find ourselves.
I remember calling Justine on my lunch break. I go, I quit. I'm quitting. I don't want to do this anymore. So it's kind of like we have these points in our life where we're very meticulous. We plan things out to the nth degree, but when push comes to shove, we're just all out and all into something else.
Yeah.
It wasn't something we did on a whim. Like she said, we saved up money. We knew sort of an idea of what we wanted to do, but it got to the point where it just built up and we're like, let's move.
And we literally like starting the next day, we sold all of our things like literally in a week and then packed up the rest of it, went home to my parents' house for like a couple weeks. And then we left to Mexico.
Yeah.
And to like just give you a rationale of like why we came here, why did we leave Canada? It's like, I think we wanted to be able to work on something and get away from everything. Like we just felt like it was like, I don't know what it was in Canada. It was just like, we're just constantly like, I don't know. I just don't feel like we're meant to be here for the rest of our lives. So we got out and like, we just started working on trying to grow something online once we got to Mexico.
Yeah, and we wanted to get into the health and wellness space. So we've been vegan for the past 12 years. So that's something that's sort of near and dear to our hearts. So we said, what could we do within the vegan space that would help people that we could see on a bigger scale than go to the hospital? We can help people every day try to eat better, try to be healthier, whether they're vegan or not, but just be healthier through food, which was sort of our idea. So we got into food photography. We started a vegan food blog that was sort of what carried us through being in Mexico. We built a really large vegan food blog here. So we've had sort of like a trials and tribulations of working online, of learning about all of this stuff.
Yeah,
SEO.
it's funny because like just like before we get into us starting this page now, it's like there's been so many things that we learned with the other online ventures that we did that have helped us so much with this. But like to get into why we got into, doing our health and fitness, but it just because with the blog, it was very removed. Like we were not.
Do you mind if I ask really quick? So that was really great. And then so you guys, like, so bold of you guys and so awesome. I mean, there are a lot of people who are like, God damn, I wish I would have took a risk or just done. I don't even want to call that a risk. It's just like, because it's so obvious you should do that.
Yeah.
But you guys are like, I'm out of here. And how much of a plan? So like going into Mexico, So you guys saved a bunch of money, which is awesome. You guys are methodical with that. Did you know what business you wanted to do in Mexico? You're just like, hey, we're gonna go to Mexico and kind of, we think we're gonna do something in healthy living, healthy lifestyle. We don't quite know, or how baked was that going to Mexico?
Yeah, we had like sort of an idea. Like we had kind of started it before leaving, but I mean, it hadn't, like we lived off savings for probably a year. I would
Yeah,
say.
like we give ourselves, every time we start a venture, we give ourselves 18 months, and we give ourselves 18 months to be cash flow positive. We know how much what we can do, we can stretch for 18 months. And that seems to be a really good runway for us.
Yeah.
We also are very, very particular with things. Like we knew everything there was to know about blogging. We had no experience with it, but we're like, okay, we're going to do food blogging. So we studied the largest creators. We understood what SEO meant. We understood that we might have to learn how to code. All of this stuff we knew and studied until we left, like probably about, I mean, I guess even the better part of
Yeah, that's what I'm
year
saying.
before we quit.
In 2019, when we decided we needed to change it up, we started looking into all of this and like, how can we make money online? Like, what can we do? And like looking into, like Mitch said, people who are running blogs, people who are running YouTubes, and we kind of decided the route that we were going to go. But yeah, it didn't really take off until we were like here.
Yeah, we had the idea, and in our mind, we had the belief it was, it's going to go. It's going to go. We always do. Yeah. Once we got here, we were in a world of hurt, because we were like, oh, wow, well, this is way harder than we thought. It's different when you start Instagram, because you can get followers right away. You kind of pop into the algorithm right away. It doesn't matter what your following is. But growing SEO behind the scenes on a blog, you get in this, it's called Google Sandbox, but you can't even really get seen for 6 to 9 months sometimes with just one post. So
yeah.
Long story short, after we did that for the past probably 3 or 4 years, we felt so removed from our faces weren't online. Not that we need credit, but we love interacting with people, and through typing on a screen our recipes, we could get comments, but there wasn't a lot of the social media aspect for us. We had a page where we just uploaded photos, but it's very different than the community-based Instagram that we always wanted. Yeah, we really wanted to start a YouTube channel after we were kind of phasing out of food blogging. Like our food blog runs itself now, which is really cool. We have passive income from that. That's something that we've built up. But we were like, we want to just be more involved, and we want to help people directly. I really enjoy being able to have a cause and effect relationship with people.
Yeah.
And then we were like looking into.
Yeah, actually, so funny, not just like bring it full circle, is like how we found you guys, like how we found Playbook is because, like I said, we always love YouTube. Like we're just huge YouTubies.
Yeah.
And we like randomly came across this couple on YouTube who was doing workout videos. I'm like, gosh, that's like super cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Maybe we could do that. Like it was Juice and Toya.
Yeah, Juice and Toya.
And we're like, what do they use? Like, how do they have an app? And we like go click on their site and stuff. And then we just came across Playbook, and we were like, oh my God.
This is exactly what we've been wanting to do.
Like everything just clicked. We were like, we need to do this.
Yeah, the idea of an app is so daunting because we have limited code experience. We're like, we've seen apps, we've paid for apps, and haven't been
used really crappy.
Yeah, the UI's been so bad, but then we actually bought their subscription, and we went through and like, oh, this is actually really cool. So literally, again, sort of that defining moment. The next day we hopped on a call, and we're like, yeah, we're going to go.
Literally.
It was like the next day. So we signed up within that day, and then a week later we were kind of meeting our coach.
Yeah.
Morgan.
Which also, by the way, Morgan is the freaking best.
Yeah.
Like absolutely love her.
Yeah. I
don't know what we would do without her. We're like, she's the best. But yeah,
hopefully that answered that long-winded question again. But yeah, you actually now feel like you feel like how Morgan feels when we're talking to her on our calls, because she just sits back and says,
you guys are awesome. It's not easy being in relationships, no matter what it is. You guys seem like a great team.
Oh yeah. I mean, we could get into the whole like running a business with your partner. Yeah. It's amazing, but yeah, there's definitely days where I was want.
I know. Yeah, it's a very interesting thing. Like we've been together for so long, for like 14 years. I met Justine when I was 19, so it's just been so long together. And since we met, we were just inseparable. We basically moved in together after like weeks, and people like, I don't know if it's the right time to say I love you after that much time together. Like, you know,
Like, no,
well, it will be good. You guys just watch out. And 14 years later, those, you know, same friends are with us, and it's just been, it's, I guess, to go on a slight tangent, but yeah, being together and running a business is the best thing that we could have ever done, but it does come with challenges too. Like, I mean, social media is a thing where you often see the best highlights of people's lives, but without, you know, saying our life is perfect, we do really have a great relationship, but we also do struggle with finding time to balance going on dates, but also running a business, and also trying not to be annoyed at the business aspect and then be happy with each other right after we get off of stuff. So there's definitely pros and cons, but we knew this going into it. And
wouldn't change it.
No, we designed this life because we do want to have kids one day, and we want to be home with them, and we want to be able to raise them and have all this free time. I grew up with a single mom, so I was like wanting to be a dad in the picture. I want to be really like involved with my kids' lives. So it's just something that we've talked about in a lot of detail.
Yeah.
Well, I'm inspired. I really am. It's you guys, it is, you know, in any partnership is, you know, I don't want to get into the whole marriage game and stuff, but man, it's not, you know, so many people, you know, the US national average, I think is like 60% divorce right after X years. And for you guys to be together for this long and build a business together and go through various scenarios in the business, it says a lot about your guys' character. You both have to be extremely thoughtful, and probably parts of the sports background, the resilient, the team chemistry, you know, all of it.
That's
But
like one thing that we always say that about us is like, we just refuse to give up. Like, and as Mitch was saying, it's like, you know, you can look at our life from the outside in and think that, oh, it's so easy, it's so perfect. It's not. It hasn't been easy. Like, since leaving Canada, we've had a lot of trials and tribulations and like just ups and downs. But like, one thing we always say is like, we just continue to put one foot in front of the other, because that's the way that you move forward. You can't stop. Like, when things get hard, you can't stop. You have to keep moving. And like, that's what we've done since leaving Canada, and that's what's landed us here. And it's like, I mean, I don't want to like toot our own horn, but I am proud of us. It's been a long journey.
Yeah, it's been super long. But rewarding.
if you guys want to start a relationship coaching business, I will.
It's actually funny. We always said
I will work behind you guys.
We always said we wanted to start a YouTube or a podcast called the Couples Podcast, and we just talk to other couples where we're like just sort of shooting it with other couples. And I thought it'd be really cool, because one thing about us is we never have all the answers, but we're super open and super honest. And I think it's sometimes maybe our fault, but we say things that need to be said in relationships. And honestly, we've had these situations with our friends where we're in a couple, we're saying like, not even offside things, but just things you're like, I don't know if this is the time to say it. And then weeks later, they'll go, oh man, what you said, we talked to my wife about it and it's totally changed our relationship. And we're like, oh, that's really cool as well. So it's just been like
it's been a fun journey.
There's so much stuff out there to do, and we just really enjoy helping people. And I mean, to come full circle again, like whether it's with relationships, because it's been so valuable for us, we love being able to help people in that like arena. But the health thing health is wealth. It's a slogan for a reason. It's something that we're so passionate about. And even with our success that we've had already, like, I mean, we've been doing this for, we have the weeks, we're on week 19 right now with Playbook, and we've helped so many people already. It's like, it's blown our expectations away. So
you guys are, I think the thing about the relationship comment is like a lot of life is like the Rogers Bannister effect. This is a total tangent, but is the Rogers Bannister effect, just seeing what's possible, and to see two people with such good spirits, in a relationship together and doing a business is just so awesome. To like have the business on top, I think is wow. It says so much about you guys. It's really cool to see. It's like I can feel you guys' energy. It's awesome.
Yeah. I think
really great.
I honestly think if like that's another thing about our page is that if we can just help more people get to that point in their relationships, and like or just with their friends or whoever, like surround themselves with people who are lifting them up, and like having that 1 + 1 = 3 kind of relationships. Like that's our goal. Like that makes us so happy when people message us and are like, I went on a walk with my partner, I went on a run with my partner, like we worked out together. It's like that makes us so happy. Like you have no idea. It's just like a really cool feeling to have that effect on people. So that's the entire reason why we started this page.
So you guys see Juice and Toy on Playbook. You give us a call, which is awesome. None of this is a plug for Playbook, by the way, but yeah, whatever.
Well, it works, so yeah, it's fine.
But so you guys have been doing this vegan thing, this vegan blog. You've been blogging for several years, and then you're like, all those reasons that you mentioned. You see Juice and Toya, and I guess was there anything what you guys knew in health and fitness coaching? Was it just like change of was it when just getting exposed to Juice and Toya changed, like was it like a directional, or was it something you guys were leading up to? And then and then I guess the answer to that question, and then how you're thinking about how you came to that decision, making the decision, and where you guys want to go.
Yeah.
It's a good question. Like, I think what we realized and learned from the vegan food blog for us is that we enjoy making food, but we make food for like healthy, good food that tastes good. But with that blog, we would be making, 8, 10 recipes a day. And it wasn't something that fit into our lifestyle that we could put time into other things we really enjoyed. So we always said our next venture has to be something that not that we weren't passionate about what we were doing with the vegan blog, but we have to be passionate about doing it day in, day out, that fits into our lifestyle. Because if it fits into our lifestyle and we do it every single day, we won't quit. And we've always loved working out, like from, our sports back, like we've been working out since we were, 10 years old, because that's just what you do. You go work out with your team and then you do that for the rest of your life and hopefully pray for the best. But so we started really,
I think we just started like asking ourselves, we're like, why not? Like when we saw Juice and Toya, and then we just started like looking at other people's fitness channels and stuff, and we were like, what? Like this makes so much sense. Like why would we not do this? Like we're really good at this. Like we could help a lot of people this way, and then it would give us that like face connection to people. And like Mitch said, it's something that we do every single day anyways. Like we're literally just living our life and then putting it online, and it's helping people. Like that's a cool thing.
It's so cool.
So that like there was a lead up to it, I guess, but that kind of defining moment was when we saw Juice and Toya, and we were like, oh my god, like this is the
that was it.
this.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
and we were even thinking, we're like, okay, cool, we should kind of do their styles of workouts, and it just wasn't our style of workout. So, and that was another thing, is when you really try to copy other creators verbatim and it's not you, it doesn't work. So we were like, let's do the home workouts. I'm like, we don't even do home workouts. So, I mean, technically we have a gym in our backyard now, so we technically work out from home. But we're like, we don't do home workouts. This is not for us. I remember we even started YouTube. We were doing some home workouts. We're like, this is not right. This is not. So then we'd like do that workout, and then we'd go do our workout after, and we're like, well, this isn't really going to help people, because that's not, you're showing them one thing and you're doing something else. So we were like, that's just not who we want to be. So
very quickly we realized, we're like, no, we need to do something.
So and then we wanted to just get that competitive edge back again. So we love running. I mean, we hated running a long time ago, but we love running now. High rocks became big, which is really cool. It's just another style of competition that we want to push ourselves. And the sort of the way we live our life is the mantra of being a jack of all trades, but a master of none. I think that really fits the mantra of hybrid training or concurrent training, doing so many different modalities at the same time and being pretty average at all of them, but just pushing yourself and just trying new things all the time. And I think that's where we want to take, our Instagram is show people like, we can do a marathon, we can do high rocks, we can try a tough mudder, we can do an ultra marathon, we can do triathlon. I just like competing all the time.
Yeah.
We're not maybe the best at it. We might not win.
I think it just fits our personality. Like, I think if you've learned anything about us, like we just need to be doing new things and like going new places, and that's just us. But
then I was going to say on that point too, like we get obsessed with stuff too. So like we get into running, we take a course. We learn everything there is to know about running. We read all of the books about the best runners. We learn how to do a proper gait. We go do our VO2 max testing. We do our gait analysis. We go all into that because we think that's the best way to share it with people online. We need to know everything so we can share it. We don't know everything, but it's sort of like that's where we're at. We've learned everything there is to know about running. We learned so much about training just our whole life, but we do that on our evening times. We're reading textbooks about like lifting right now, different strength training. And sort of the High Rocks thing became huge, and we just love competition, and we learn everything we learn about that. So just
I don't even know where we were going with like the answer to that question, but I feel like
No, that was
great.
great.
You give us runway, we'll just keep talking. So
I don't know what the other question was.
No, that was great. There's a great lesson there, which was a tangent, but was awesome. Is that you can keep making yourself better, and it's like you put yourself in a hole, you really learn something. That's a huge part about social, where people are like, hey, I want to be great, I want to build a big social business, and we're going to come back to your guys' growth and everything, but it's like it starts with you, and you go and you go as deep as you can on fitness or nutrition or whatever the vertical is, and then you're largely learning something and implementing it and sharing knowledge. And it seems like you guys you guys consciously know that and have said, hey, we're gonna with a ton of intention go into new areas that interest us and learn as much as we can so we can share it with others.
Yeah, and like Mitch said, we don't have all the answers. No, I don't think anybody does. If they ever tell you they do, run. But we're just trying our best to be the most armed with knowledge for both ourselves. Like, we love learning and like implementing things for our own selves, and then also just sharing that with people. And I think that is the hugest thing that you can do, is just be authentically yourself, try to learn as much as you can on your page, but then ultimately just like...
And I was just going to say, taking that knowledge, like coming back full circle to Playbook, is that like we never think there's a magic pill to become insta famous or to build a business. And we never thought just because we paid to do Playbook and got help from people with Playbook, we're just going to be a success. We took the framework of Playbook, which is incredible, I might add, because like it helped us so much. Like, we knew creation, but to have such a great formula to create that we learned was invaluable. But just because we knew it didn't mean we were going to have this much success that we've already had so early. We worked with Morgan, and when she would give us homework to do, we would spend hours on it. It wasn't to get done. We would go through every single question, and we would write it out paragraphs. And as you can tell, we're like talking nonstop. We'd do the same thing behind the scenes, and we would like, I'm A to Z person. Like, okay, what if this happens? What if this happens? And we needed to nail down everything for this because we wanted this to work. So we went all in on Playbook. What do you have for us for homework? What can we do? How do we go through it? We would do the homework. We would review it the next day. We would talk about it. We would be able to recite it to Morgan when we talked to her because we just knew it like the back of our hand. Yeah. So I think like full circle to Playbook is the best thing we've been able to do online. But just because you pay for something or get help, you have to still put in the work, and you have to be obsessive with it. And I think that's like, we didn't even learn that this time because we learned it before. So it just translated really well to Playbook.
Yeah.
Man, you got thank you for that. And Morgan is awesome. And again, she says so many awesome things about you guys. You guys are awesome.
Morgan.
And then let's talk about, so what week did you say you guys are on? You guys were
19.
19.
I mean, we started a bit early, like, so it's from the time we were posting it's week 19.
Yes, from the time we were posting our week 19.
It's about January.
Yeah.
So.
And how many followers did you guys have then?
Like 100. It was all of our close friends. Yeah, like we had 100 followers. They were all of our friends, and
literally like our closest friends and family.
Yeah.
That was it. Yeah.
So in about 7 months, you guys went from 100 followers to 200,000.
It's crazy. Yeah.
That's gotta feel pretty good.
Wild.
Yeah, I mean so as I said before too, we have this 18-month runway. So we're like, okay, we're gonna do 18 months, and our true goal, like, we have lofty goals, but when we're in a area we don't know a lot about, which, I mean, Instagram, we really don't know a lot about it till we started studying it. So we were like, okay, if we could get to 25,000 followers by the end of the year. Like that's a really great goal.
Cool.
'Cause that's a good goal. Like that's literally a good goal. You can make a business with 25,000. And we had this one video pop off, and actually the first few weeks we were posting, we get like 3 followers, and we were like, yes, every day we're like, yes, 3 followers. That's great. 10 likes.
3, like sick.
Yeah, we were literally super happy. And then one day we had one video pop off, and we went from like 100 to 600. And Morgan was like, we're going to have 1,000 party for you guys, like the 1,000 really soon. We're like, oh yeah, this is so great. And then the next day we wake up and it's like 1,200. Yeah. No, and then it was like the next day we were at 10,000, and it just sort of kept spiraling. And we sort of saw what worked for us and started emulating those styles of videos again. And we just kept having viral videos. And we have a handful of really viral videos right now that had us grow so much. And it was just kind of like a really crazy story.
Honestly, I don't even really still believe it now.
Yeah.
Like it hasn't been that long where I'm like, wow, that's wild. Like it's crazy to see something go viral and like that happen.
And there's so many things like, oh, Instagram's dead, or like, you hear all the social medias are dead. Every different social media is dead now. And we hear that too, and we're like, I don't know. I think it's possible to grow. Like people are growing. And Daily Runner girl, Clebera, was a huge inspiration for us too, because she started this new Daily Runner girl Instagram. And we're like, holy, she grew so much in such a short period of time. Well, it's definitely not Instagram. It's the content you're uploading. It's the strategy that you have. It's understanding your target audience and what you want to do with your platform. And
it was like honestly such a credit to Morgan. And I mean, both, like honestly, Morgan and Clebera have been like huge in our journey, but Morgan always like brought us back to when we're posting content, like, what is this? What is the intent with this piece of content? Like, is this selfish content? Is this helpful content? Like, what are you trying to get from this piece of content? And I think, I mean, we're obviously not perfect. We're still trying to like learn Instagram and stuff, but like that's been our mindset every time we post a piece of content is like, is this just all about me? Like if somebody came to my page, would they be like, oh, this is helpful? Or like,
I think that's the biggest thing is I find that even our mindset before getting into this whole process was that you put out a post and you kind of want to get a reaction about what you're doing in the post. And we fully flipped that around with help of Morgan, of course, where it's like, I want people to come to our page and not even know, like, yes, we want people to know who we are, but the initial thing was, I don't even want people to care who we are. I want them to look at our content and say, that's so me, that's so us. And we had this mindset, and we put this really viral video out, and we had thousands of comments. This is so us, tag wife or husband. This is us, this is us, this is us. And we were like, okay, yeah, we're definitely onto something here.
Yeah.
And that's kind of changed the strategy that we've had the whole time to not be selfish. To
like it's like you're kind of like
you want
showing
to,
a mirror for
you want a
to see
reflection
it ourselves. But I mean, that like now we're trying to work on like having people connect with us on a deeper level. So like that's like something that we're working on, and just like kind of peeling back the layers of ourselves.
And it's funny, like I feel like that's one thing we definitely struggle with is it's not the talking part. We're good at that part, and we have lots to share, and we've gone through a lot of struggle and ups and downs, and it's trying to condense those things into a platform that's big off of 5 to 7 seconds. And I think our humor doesn't show as much, or our ability to, go in depth off of a topic like depression, which is like near and dear to me, that could help so many people. But it's like, how do you make depression 7 seconds long and really exciting? Yeah. And it's like, I'm like, okay, let's try to figure that out, where it's not necessarily about views for us, but I would rather a depression video get 10 billion views than to get 8,000. And it's hard to now, that's sort of where we're navigating with like the things that we've been able to go through our life. How do we share that with our audience in a way that's entertaining and educational, but also can deeply resonate with the people that we're trying to help? So that's sort of like, even though you didn't ask, that's sort of what we're working on next. We're working on that part next, and Morgan's been helping us with that, because that's a selfish part in a way that we're sharing our personal story, but we really want to be able to use those things to help people. And I think that's the biggest challenge when you get caught up with, views and hooks of videos, and you're trying to make something really helpful. So yeah, definitely that's like a piece that our sort of next step.
Work in progress.
Yeah.
So many great frameworks there that you guys talk through. Yeah, and it's so cool to hear.
You like a thing where it's like, yeah, you need the points written as we're talking for you because it's like a million different things that we're saying. But
That's
No,
so funny.
it's so good. Yeah, there's definitely some things I'm like, ooh, I want to come back to that one. But that I love you guys. The key ingredients for people, if I use this piece of content as a lesson, is like, you guys you this great attitude. You're going in there with, I think your expectations of it are super healthy. And obviously you guys far exceeded expectations, which is awesome. And then that's a great way to look at it. There are so many people where, unfortunately, I'm like, they'll be like 3 weeks. Be like, I didn't have a post pop off. And it's like, dude, it's like,
Yeah, you can't put
you
a
really have to
timeline
help
on
them
it like that. Yeah.
shift their expectations 100%. And then I love I love how, which is 100% correct, is, hey, we're going to put out content we like, it's about us. But we're also going to be data driven, where we're going to look at what's starting to get any engagement, and then we'll continue to double down towards that content. Sounds like you guys have been just really thoughtful in your general approach and thoughtful of how you're looking at what's starting to resonate, and then sharpening the axe, so to speak, on that content.
yeah, just having expectations that are realistic and good goals, but also realizing that 3 weeks doesn't do anything. Like we said, 18 months we found that has really hit a sweet spot for you. So if you're 18 months out and you're 6 months in and nothing's happening, you can still keep your head down and keep grinding. But oftentimes, if you work really hard for 18 months, something's going to pop off before that to give you a little bit of encouragement. And then just taking those small wins as
Yeah, like if there's any like thing we could pass on to people, it's like literally celebrate every single tiny win. Like we're not joking. Every single follower we got in the beginning, we were like, this is sick. Like, this is so cool. Like, someone saw our content. Like, that's been our mantra the entire time. It doesn't matter. Like, now that, I mean, we're almost at 200,000, but like even now we just celebrate every little thing that happens. Like, we're happy with where we're at, but we're always looking for the next goal. And like, that's pretty much been our attitude the entire time.
That is an excellent attitude. You guys are going to have to coach soon. That is such a healthy way to look at it. And I would want to, well, I'll ask you guys a couple more questions and I'll give you guys your afternoon back. As you guys are going, I think there's an interesting dynamic where you two are this great sounding board, and it's really helpful in business to have a partner. It is hard. It is hard to go solo. It's just nice to just bounce your thoughts and your feelings and stuff off people, and to check yourself. That it is helpful. And then with that said, one of the main things people struggle with, I'd be curious if you guys had the same, any areas of struggle here, is, hey, the one point you guys said is when we were doing our blog, we weren't really the face of it. So we weren't really out there.
Yeah.
And now you guys are. Now you're really putting your face out there, and people can see who you are. Was there any, like, I don't want people to judge us, or I'm afraid of putting myself out there. Did you guys deal with that at all? That'd be my first question. The second question, to piggyback off that, would be, with all the positives, there's trolls and shitty people too, and love to see how you guys have dealt with that. I always love hearing people's response to that. But the first question would be, how sometimes people are afraid to get on camera. Some people are afraid to film themselves, shoot themselves. Have either of you guys struggled with that? Have you guys coached each other along the way? How do you think about that?
Yeah, so I think the way that our dynamic works is I'm like the even-keeled kind of like calming energy, and Mitch is he's a Leo,
Extra calm
so
energy.
it's very very like extra.
Yeah.
And so whenever, like, to answer the first part of the question, putting ourselves out there, I don't think it's ever an easy thing, because there are going to be, like, the bigger you get, the more people you are going to have judge you one way or the other. But I think it always comes back to us, like, are we helping more people than if we didn't do this? And our answer is always yes. And so we have to just push ourselves past our comfort zone. And we're still working on that. Like, we're putting out face to camera content and like talking to the camera and all that stuff. That is much harder than just putting out a video with some music and some text. But we're really trying to push ourselves to do more of that, because I know we can connect with more people that way. but it's never an easy thing to do that. And I don't think, like, I think because there's two of us, like you said, it's a lot easier than if it was just one of us, because to bring it back to me, I'm always like, no, like, we're okay, like, we can do this. And like, I think just having that person beside you telling you that it's all good, like, like, who cares, like, it's just us, you know, that really helps. But I don't know,
I would say, like, from a pressure standpoint, I feel like we put so much pressure on ourselves to be, I mean, I'm speaking for myself, but I know Justine's the same way, to be in essence perfect. We do so much, and it's not to seem perfect, we have an influence on people where we can actually better their lives. So the last thing I want to do is put out a program or to tell someone to do something that ends up being wrong. And I think, like, it doesn't matter how much we can learn, there's going to be a lot of times where we're wrong, and we're okay to admit that. But it's also challenging to be like, did I say this right? Was it the right way did I mess anything up? It's not so much that I'm afraid of people calling me out. It's I don't want to make a mistake to impact someone's life negatively. Yeah. So that I think we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to be perfect. I think that's something that we can work on for sure.
Yeah.
But to get in front of a camera, I think we're just excited we do so much better helping people and screwing up on camera, and people can see that. And I think that's
we love talking to people. We love connecting with people. So we're always just asking ourselves, like, are we going to help more people with this than not? Let's just put it out, you know, like, who cares what people say?
Yeah. And regarding the troll aspect of things, it's, we were so surprised.
We have a very particular lifestyle also, just like we eat plant-based, we don't drink alcohol, like
we're primed for people like, chirping us all the time. Yeah, like we're primed for that. We've like, you know, in the past we've drank alcohol, we've done drugs, like we've struggled with stuff before. So to have this, like, you know, plant-based non-alcohol thing, it's like that's not always what it was. That's just where we're at now. I mean, there's a mentality about, or like an aura about that sort of thing, and we're like completely out. We have tattoos, we have so many contradicting things. But
yeah, just to like get to the troll thing, is there's always gonna be trolls. Like, on the whole, I would say our community is very positive. Like, we don't get a ton of trolls, but like there's just some wild things that people say, and you're like, that is like very intrusive, or just like, why would you say that? But like at the start, it maybe bothered us a bit, but now we'll either just like ignore it, or if it's like really over the top, like offensive, we'll just block the person or reply like, thanks for boosting the algorithm, you know, like.
Yeah, we like being as sarcastic as we carry as well. Yeah. I think if it's like truly offensive, definitely like it just shouldn't be on our account. That's sort of what we talked about. But if it's something that's like critiquing us, I think everyone has the right to see that. Like,
yeah, and
we'll do a flexibility thing. Like, I'm not very flexible. I literally stretch every day for almost an hour, and I'm working on it. Yeah. And people are like, this guy doesn't do this every day. He's not flexible at all.
Like I literally do.
Fair point. I'm not flexible, but I do it. I swear I do that every day.
Yeah, it's just funny. I just like I always ask myself, like, I don't know if this person commenting is like in a good space or not. Like, they're most likely not, so just like let them be on their way and just whatever with their life. Like, we're doing our own thing and we're helping a lot of people. So yeah, I feel like trolls don't really.
Yeah, it was actually surprisingly, like, we got chirped a lot more when we were doing our vegan food blog than we do now. We have a great, like, we're so lucky. We have a really good community of people that are typically, we'll have people even coming to our defense in the comments. Like, it's
awesome.
Yeah,
I love our community. They're amazing.
You guys have to keep going. You guys are definitely a gift to the world. It's your guys' energy together is awesome. And
basically we're like this 24/7. So
it's like, I want to hang out with these guys. Like,
you come stay with us in Mexico.
Oh,
be nice.
I'm coming. Yeah, I'm gonna be there.
Retreat in Mexico.
Yeah, we gotta do a Mexico retreat.
Yeah, we gotta do a retreat just around you guys. I don't want to go back to make it about the relationship, but it's very. You even like, hey, we have a kind of a system for how we deal with trolls, or we have a framework for how we deal with it. If they're too bad, they get blocked. Like, I love how it seems like you guys are chatting through all that stuff because you're in business together.
We have an algorithm for our life. It's so funny because like in nursing too, you have, if someone's having a heart attack, you have like a way of dealing with it through algorithms. And it's just something we've always done where it's like, if this happens, then this, if this, then this. And it's just like a thing back to, again, not to be all about relationships, but we genuinely talk about everything. We always talk about hard things, everything that comes up. You could just ask Justine all these questions today. She would answer the exact same way. Same with me. We know exactly what the other person would say. And it's just always been a part of our process. So it's just like, and then that's one of the reasons we've done so well in life. Like, and I mean, done so well that we have a good relationship and we like are living the life that we want to live. I think that's what I mean by have done so well.
Yeah.
And it's just like a really cool life so far. And we're super excited to be part of this growing team of Playbook too.
I know, you guys are like so awesome.
It's just kicked our life into a totally different area as well. Like we weren't doing this 20 weeks ago. So we're doing something that I believe we're going to do for the rest of our lives. It's something that it's the most passionate I've been, and Justine's been our whole lives. And it's so cool that we're just 20 weeks into the rest of our lives with this thing. And I think it's just, it's super unique.
People are like paying for energy. Like they need the enthusiasm. They're like, you have something, I'm buying from you. You probably have good fitness and nutrition knowledge. And I'm hoping that's a part of who you are, but I'm buying you. It's like that is the core of it, right? And you guys have your guys' energy, your dynamic. You guys got to give a lot of that to the world. It's super healthy, and
it's really nice. That's what we're trying to do. That's what we're trying to do with this. Yeah,
it's been a dream of ours. Like we want to do so many things with it. We want to be able to help people in so many capacities. Whether it's we are going to be doing this Instagram channel for the rest of our days. We're so excited for that. We want to do a podcast where we can have more open conversations with people. I think that's really important. It's something that we consume as people. Like we love podcasts. We love YouTube. We love long form because you can't hide in front of a long form audience. Like even doing this, we're like, oh, this is cool. People will get to know us more than 7 seconds. And I think that's like really exciting for us as well. But it's sort of just everything about this lifestyle that we've been pulled into with Playbook has opened up so many different doors and avenues to help people, and we're just going to use all of them.
Yeah,
definitely.
This is the last question, then I'll let you guys go. So you were a single mom, raised by a single mom, and then you got to a very high level in sports. And then what was your family like? And then you played high level college soccer. And what position did you play, by the way?
I played center back, and
nice. I was a center back.
I also played winger. So I was like all the free kicks, I was the free kick specialist, and I would just go all over the field basically. But
she's the captain of her teams. She was always the captain, so she could probably say that.
I had two parents, both my mom and my dad, and they were both high level athletes themselves. They both played college sports, and I had two parents, but they were real hard on us. They expected a lot. I have an older brother and myself. And especially for me, they just expected a lot out of me. And I remember coming home and I'd be like, oh, I got straight A's on my test and in my report card. And they're like, okay, great. Yeah, that's sweet. And my friends would come home and they'd be like, I got straight A's. And their parents were giving them money for straight A's. It was just everything that we did, they were just that's just expected. That's what you do. If you're a Drostovich, that is what you do. And just having that high expectation my entire life, I think has made me so resilient. That's why I said, we just refuse to give up. That's what it is. That's that mindset of okay, what's next? What are you doing else? You've done that. Okay, now what's next? Keep going. That's really what my parents instilled in us, is just having that no quit attitude.
I have a 6-year-old daughter and a 4-year-old little boy. And, and you're always asking yourself that question and that's actually very, very interesting. It's compassion versus compression. You kind of struggle with that. You have a stoic part of you where I would say that's not necessarily a trait, I would say, of all female entrepreneurs or something like that. And I'm trying to be careful what I say there, where
we're not on that side of we're in the sense of we're very open, you said. So she's very much not again, the politically correct thing or whatever, a traditional, as we see females or used to see females, she's very tomboyish her whole life too. When she met all of our friends, she was not my girlfriend. She was their sister already. There's this girl's so cool. This girl hangs out. She's very again, you don't want to say the wrong thing, but it's like manly but not manly. Like, you know, it's like that masculine energy. We're very much into investing, and Justine is right there doing all of the learning with investing with me as well. Like, she knows, I mean, everything. That's just a whole other topic of conversation, but we're huge into finance, and that's sort of been the reason that we've been successful in our life as well, that we got obsessed with finance. We learned everything there was to know about finance. And just to, like, you know, pay homage to Justine, she does that with me all the time. She's just as interested in that type of stuff as I am. When we go traveling, she wants to do the hardest hikes, the go surfing, we scuba dive together. Like, that's just been her. And that's the huge reason why I'm so attracted to that as well. It's just been like she's just really easy to be with.
The interesting part of the success equation, she kind of came from that. It sounds like you came from a different environment where you were raised from a single child home. I think the most common reason one of the most common reasons someone ends up in trouble in life early on is like lack of a father.
Funny, like my mom, so she was a single parent. I had an older brother, and me and my older brother were complete opposites. So my mom, we came from a scarcity mindset. So I didn't grow up with we didn't have a lot of money, but my mom is a really unselfish person where she basically I played hockey in Canada with my mom who had no money. So if anyone knows how expensive hockey is, like, how possibly could that work? She was a foster parent. So we took in children who were very high risk. So from all over, like, it's like there's levels in Canada, but level 3 is like the extreme where, you know,
Like people
they were,
alcohol,
alcohol syndrome or drugs or all of that stuff. So since I was I don't know, born, we have kids into our house. So we just had, like, my drive comes from being afraid to fail and have nothing, like I grew up with. And I don't mean I had nothing. My mom gave us so much. Like, another thing is, like, my brother's a drug addict type person. So I have that part where there's just so much going on in my family that I am very much a black sheep of the family, I guess.
And also he felt like, I think the whole, just to, like, go on another tangent, but circle back to the hockey thing, is like the whole entire reason he wanted to make it to the NHL and almost did was so that he could take care of his mom. And that when he didn't, and when he got injured, that absolutely crushed him. And that was like what the entire identity crisis kind of stemmed from, because it was just this, like, battle to get to the show so that he could take care of his mom, who'd given up everything for him. Like, she moved cities so that he could play hockey. Like, they moved around. They moved to, like, 5 different cities so that he could play hockey on the best teams and, like, have the best chance. So yeah, it was just like when he got injured and couldn't do it, it was just like earth shattering for him. So yeah, we come from completely different backgrounds. And I think that's sort of unique, because I was very much like, my mom gave us everything and would never say no. So I was really babied in that side of things. And then Justine was basically told she was told she was never good enough. She was nice things, like, but that part where it's like being the best is just expected, and it's just so different. And now we get to navigate having children one day, and it's been such a blessing to see both sides of how we were raised and be like, okay, there's definitely parts of that, there's parts of this. And again, we'll, I'm sure, make an algorithm for children. It's so easy to just do that. No, I'm just kidding. It's not. Oh my God, you're making it sound insane.
No, but like we like read book, like we want to read books on children. We do read books. We talk to our friends. I mean, I don't even know where I'm going with this tangent, but like another comment that we constantly get on Instagram every single day is like, "Are you going to have kids? Wait till you have kids." And we're like genuinely excited.
Yeah, we're really excited.
We're really excited to have kids, but with not growing up and having a dad and not being financially stable when I was young, I want to make sure that, yeah, maybe I'm 35 when I have a kid for my first time. That's okay with me. If I have to be older, that's okay. We're going to make whatever works, but I want to have myself figured out so I can be a really good influence on my kids and our kids growing up.
Yeah.
That story that both of you guys have and where you guys came from and who you are and what has driven you is like, I haven't gone through every piece of content that you guys have, but you definitely guys need to share that.
I know.
Yeah,
that's like literally, we literally had a meeting with Morgan yesterday, and we're like, we need to just hone in on how we can like share
how we
more
can
of this.
share those things. And I think that's why we've been so driven towards long form, because it's not easy for us, but we enjoy talking. Like, even jokes aside, we really do enjoy talking. We like being completely present, talking to someone, hearing what they say, being able to respond back and have people derive a lot of value from that. So the last thing when we started Instagram, like, it was one of our biggest hesitations with starting, not with Playbook, but with starting with Instagram as our medium, because we always felt that challenge. And I know he's touched on it, but that challenge to make things condensed. And I think that's what some of the best creators do. And that's sort of what we're benchmarking ourselves against now. We're like, it's not an excuse to just say we have to do long form content. That's the way we'll do it. We just have to get more creative. And I think just
that's our next steps for sure. That's what we're working
I think
on.
you guys could like interview each other, seriously, like do what we did today. And then don't worry about views, post it on YouTube, cut it, clips on it, so those feed into Instagram, and then say comment, Mitch and Justine, and then we'll sit, and then you many chat and send the full video.
That's
and
actually,
so
that's
you're-
yeah.
I mean, we wanted to integrate a part of like a long form thing into, Judd,
Your About Me section for sure.
Judd just created a podcast and he does those short clips. We really like listening to that he has those things integrated. And I think it's sort of our next step is just trying to figure out we want to get our app launched, and then we want to get,
it's just, everything's happened so fast that we're just like, we've just got to like get.
Yeah, we need a little bit of time, and we're going to make all this happen because we know we have a lot to share with people and a lot of people to help, because people are going through so many similar things to us. And I think that's, again, since they're going through similar things, you just shine the mirror right at them and they're going to just love the content that we have.
Yeah.
You guys are awesome.
You're awesome.
Well, we're so grateful.
no,
Truly, we're grateful for Playbook. Like, it's like,
couldn't say good enough things. Honestly.
yeah, I know it's been a blessing, and it's been so easy. Like, I hate to say, I know people do struggle. Like, not everyone is just going to be a success, no matter what they do, no matter the business coach, how good ever. Like, you do have to put in that work, but it's just been so easy for us. The only things that we could say is positive stuff about the experience that we've had, because it's been like, okay, 7 months later, you have 200,000 followers. Like, okay, it works. So that's like, we're trying to, yeah.
I know. Yeah. Well,
I think what you guys will see is you'll have multiple digital businesses where you'll branch into more and more things, especially as you give your personality into there and you guys give your story, which is people. There's a great book. I would highly recommend a book about is Rick Rubin. He's the biggest music producer of all
Rick
time.
Rubin. Yeah. Is that called, what is that?
The creative, it's like the creative act. I forget the full title.
Yeah.
okay.
We have that on the read list. Okay, that's good.
We've been meaning to read that forever. I'm gonna write this.
And it's really, really good. But the main thing it emphasizes is that it's like if ChatGPT made music, it would be way less interesting, because it's art and content is interesting purely from the fact of who it's coming from.
Right, absolutely.
And so people connect with that, and that's, you guys have a lot of that.
That's
where
we're just gonna keep internalizing that and just like trying to get it out in our head, because that's our goal. That's our goal.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for your time today. It's been awesome, and we'll definitely be doing this again.
Thank you so much for having us, though, Jeff. We'll definitely do this again.
You guys, so awesome. We'll talk soon.